Speed Podcast coming to you from Dante Trader and Beau Brade. First, we came up with this name, One Speed, because, it really came from, whenever I work out or whenever I do anything, I just, try my best, go 100% effort, no holding back or nothing, on the field, working out, really whatever I do, weekends, I'll be, just one speed, only know one speed. It's either one speed or not at all for real. But yeah.
And then we just really came together, wanted to use our voice. We really both wanted to start a podcast just to have some fun with it and just use our voice when we're not, always the most talkative people. So, and we just collab from there. And each episode, we're going to start off with a quote of the day. And the quote of the day is, nobody cares, work harder. And that's a quote I loved and always write on my mirror. Whatever you're going through in life, whatever hardship or anything like that, you should be able to push through that and realize nobody's really going to give you sympathy in life because life is not fair.
For real. Yeah. Next thing is we get into, we just had some boys get drafted out here, yes, Tay Banks and JB, from the back end, you feel me? Man, we so proud of those guys, watching that happen, which is man, I was I was really speechless because I was wow, that's a blessing for real. These guys were dogs and they great guys. Ever since I met them, they've been great guys and they're older than us. As a safety, we're usually the kind of feel like quarterbacks, the defense, at least the back end. But man, those guys, they know their stuff, especially JB. He's another coach out there. That's for the smartest. That's the smartest back end I've ever. Smartest defensive guys I've ever been with, for real.
Yeah, and they used to always race and compete, and that was my favorite thing about them. I think JB ran a 4.3, Banks ran a 4.3. Them boys literally competed in the stretch lines because RD would blow the whistle and we would hold the sprint out and things like that. So what was your favorite moment from each one of those guys?
Man, Tay just in the locker room, right? He's so funny, bro. But my most when I've been amazed of Tay is for sometimes with his athletic ability, when we do vertical jumps and he's 40, without even trying, or I see I look back at some tape and he's strapping the mess out your favorite receiver for real.
No, for
real, he's just strapping people. And then JB, man, just hanging out with him and just for real him. Seeing being with him in the locker room, being with him and watching film and seeing how he thinks about things because he's a very, very intellectual guy and especially when it comes to the game, he just knows what he's for real talking about.
JB, he's just a pro. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
He'll make you feel bad of how you're eating, how you're not taking care of your body. You just look at JB, you just man, and he used to always hold me to a higher standard example. Come on, Trader, what we doing? I'm right. You're right. And then just Banks, you just get his competitiveness. It just, it just pours into everything you do and all the things like that. And with those guys, first round draft pick,
man,
4th round draft pick, that's the best duo cornerbacks in the nation.
Right.
If anybody says anything else, pull up the games, pull up the stats.
Pull up the games,
stats,
bro. Bro, our DB room be so competitive, just working out or be in the weight room or the field, no matter what, because of those two. And then we got Hebe and we got other guys coming in. Man, we got some dogs, and we gonna see it this year coming up too, for real.
Yes, sir.
But congrats to our other brothers too, getting drafted, getting signed. Roommate Chad got drafted, and he's gonna do big things in New England, dog. I know he is, for real.
Yeah, shout out Chad.
But. Yeah, coming up next, LAC season. Y'all in a tournament. I missed the game the other day, but y'all been working for real.
Yeah, it hasn't been the easiest thing to do. You've been very supportive. He's always at the games, front row, him and Peck.
Yes, sir.
The day-to-day for me is what a lot of people don't see or, hear about, we got 6:30 lifts I show up with.
Bro, what? He goes to 6:30 lifts, 6:30 a.m. in the morning lifts, doing both sports. I'm why are you here, bro? You shouldn't be here. You don't have to be here. Do you know that?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just wired in me. I want to be around some of you guys. That's exactly why I'm coming back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'm there with y'all. Go to treatment and rehab. Then I got practices and meetings in the afternoon. But a lot of people would think like lacrosse don't meet as much as football. We meet a lot, and the meetings are just as bad as some of our safety meetings. You know how crazy those get.
Oh yeah, for real.
Like and
Shout out, coach.
that ain't a diss. But yeah, man, it's been fun. Coach Locks has been very supportive of me. I have a lot of fans. It's fun to see them little kids hit me up.
Oh yeah,
signing autographs and
they look up to you, bro.
Yeah, it's honestly bigger than me. When the road gets hard, that's exactly what I think about. Like I want to say like what's your why as an athlete? As a two-sport athlete in college, like my why is like the younger kids because like I always like struggled to have a tangible person I could look up to and talk to, and these kids can obviously like DM me like how are you doing this? How do you handle that? Right. And just being able to be that outlet for these guys, like when I'm like waking up in the morning to go to those lifts or in practice after going through a full year of football and a full year of lacrosse, like it gets draining. Right. So like I just constantly have to remind myself like why are you doing this and keep pumping. We got a couple more games coming up. Hopefully we can get to the natty.
Yeah, but, I'll be right there with you, boy.
Yeah, he'll be right there with me.
Y'all gonna turn up.
Yeah, it's Well, I mean, let me ask you a question. You think you could go out there if we give you a year, you can go out there?
Lax?
Yeah.
Y'all, okay. Nah, y'all hard. Yeah, y'all hard. Y'all hard. Like, but I could not go out there. Like I picked up elastic before. I can't catch the ball to save my life or shoot it. But if y'all needed me to like go strike somebody on their team, like their best player, like strike him, boy, I'll be out there for that one play to do it.
Yeah.
But the rest of that,
And like, just touch on like the topic of being a two-sport or multiple-sport athlete, and for like high school athletes, you know how like certain parents or kids like, yo, I want to focus on this sport or focus on this. Like, do you especially like that or disagree? Like,
nah, I don't really. I think kids should play like whatever sport they want to, and I feel like the more sports for real, the better. They get a little touch on different things. I wish I kind of like played maybe more sports growing up. I don't know. I mean, after I played baseball, I was terrible. I ain't gonna lie. Like I could not hit the ball. But I feel like if a kid plays, one sport their whole like life, they only gonna know that one sport for real. It's not really like helping them athletically, or it's like when you play like multiple sports, like the connections and people you make are like way different. Like if you never played football or never played lax and just played one of those sports, there's a lot of people you wouldn't have met. Like right?
Yeah, like the connection is the biggest thing I would say. Like the amount of people and the amount of older people that I have met and made connection with that could lead me to a job later in life, playing with their kids, and the amount of people I have supporting me now from just years ago in the earlier sports. But I'll say why I feel like kids shouldn't specialize in sports. I would say mainly because of like injuries, and you don't get the benefits of the other movements to the other sports.
Right.
Like I gain a lot from football to lacrosse and lacrosse to football, and I played basketball, and like other people that play other sports and not specializing allows your body to get a rest from those certain movements that would soft tissue injuries like the hip flexor, groin, all those things would change direction sports and then go into contact sports and things of that. And then it just makes you like more competitive and more balanced playing in multiple sports, because it's like you don't have as much time as the specialized kids. So it's like you gotta dedicate your time wisely and be efficient with all that. But honestly, it just keeps you on your toes.
I do feel like the more sports you play, the better athlete you're gonna be. I feel like on a football field, you can for real tell of like if someone's played football their whole life and nothing else. I think you can tell. Like,
yeah, you can tell.
He'll be stiff. He'll be running all choppy and stuff. And you can tell like if a receiver or a DB never played basketball before. I feel like that'll be obvious when they go for that ball.
And just being with D1, just being with D1 coaches, like you would hear the stories. It's like yo, I'm recruiting this football kid, but they'll go to a basketball game or they'll go to a track meet. Like they want to see him in another. They want to see him in other sports.
Yeah, nice setting.
Exactly. Like you'll see top notable coaches go to another sporting event of that kid just to see how athletic he is, just to see how he's doing in other sports. So like coaches really look for those multi-sport athletes, like because there's a lot of characteristics that they gain from those, and it helps them with everything. So I would say to the younger generation now, like don't specialize. Try as many sports as you can, and just pick a couple of them and just run with it.
Right. What sport did you play first?
Originally played basketball.
Yeah.
I was
boy.
Chill. They gonna eat me up once. My family gonna eat me up once they see it. But I wasn't the greatest basketball player. That's exactly why I stopped playing in high school. Yeah, it was rough. What was yours?
No, football. I played football as a little kid, but I played like basketball. I played a little baseball coming up, but
Imagine Beau Brade with a basketball.
I dunk it.
Oh man,
I rise up. But like I want to see like a statistics on like how many players that get drafted played like multiple sports or something, or like if they just played like for the NFL, or if they just played like football growing up. Is that
I kind of want to see that too.
That'd be cool.
But most of the stories you see, most of the athletes play multiple sports.
Yeah, either like Kyler Murray could have went to that.
That's crazy.
MLB. That's
like what? Look at Deion.
Deion and Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson,
what?
like what?
Oh my god.
Doing the same events, same day, different sports. Like not even physical. Like people think it's more physical. I was saying from two sports. It's more mental than anything.
That's wild.
Imagine having a football playbook in your head, and then having to go totally get out of that mindset to hit this little ball going at 100 miles per hour, fielding it and playing it, and all that. Like just the mental capacity and like to be able to handle all that is what I give credit to those guys. Like,
I mean, that's what you doing,
but they're doing that.
I feel
they were doing that at a professional.
How do you not cope, but how do you get yourself through that? A little mental challenge and stuff. You feel me?
So, it's a very touchy subject in the athlete world about the mental part. But obviously, University of Maryland, they have sports psychiatrists.
Yeah.
And I meet with a sports psychiatrist once or two times a week. They basically just, dive into everything around what your lifestyle and dive in. But more selfish to me, like, they started diving into, I'm an extremist. One speed. Like, I go 100 miles per hour. I keep my days filled. And it's just, she was basically like, you're going to crash out. You're going to burn. You got to be able to have a balance. And that's something I, have to focus on when I'm doing this two-sport, because it's like, I don't have the time to do a lot of things. So you have to plan your days, predicate what you need to stress and do, to handle all that. Like, you got to give time to yourself. So if it's, talking to y'all for 10, 15 minutes, you don't realize how much that helped me get my mind off of school or lacrosse. But just on the field, and specifically on the field, extra meetings with my coaches and, keeping my body strong so I sustain the long seasons. But it takes a lot. Again, big quote I live by, it takes what it takes. Yeah. I quoted in a meeting the other day, whatever it takes for me to be able to do it. But the kids who have aspirations of doing it in college just know this is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, and I'm very proud of myself to get to this point. But it's not all rainbows and confetti. Right. I don't want people to think that. I don't want no sympathy for it, but it's not the easiest things you're going to dive on. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that you can talk to somebody about that. Besides players and your men and people, I'm glad you can talk to the doctor or whatever about that, because some people I know me, I be keeping stuff in for real.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that since as long as I can remember for real. But I just keep it in and just deal with myself, and that gets taxing for real. And I mean, shoot, my girl get mad at me because I be just keeping it up. I'm not talking, telling me, because I don't think like you said earlier, with the quote of the day, nobody cares, work harder type. But so I feel like for me, that's what I'd be thinking about it. But at the end of the day, you need to for real let that stuff out. instead of bottling it
yeah,
up.
I agree, and that's really what this podcast is all about. Like,
Yeah.
two men, like, opening up and talking, using the platform to give knowledge and just to give experiences. Like, we're gonna have guests on here, and and just going off of that mentality part. That's, I mean, obviously our next topic we're gonna talk about is like that. Nobody cares, work harder mindset is what we live by.
Right.
Like,
Right.
like men struggle with the negatives of that. Like, that's a reason why we struggle with talking about stuff is we realize it's like, bro, like he's going through the same thing. You're going through the same thing. Nobody cares, work harder. And that it's a good like mindset and quote to live by if you're using it in the right like situation. But it can affect how much stress you're dealing with because it's like that causes you not to open up.
Yeah.
And what are switching to that? So like, how does your mindset change from sports and your life? Just give us a like example of like how your day-to-day mindset.
Wake up 5:45 for that lift, get ready, get to the facility. I'm feeling tired for real, but I'm feeling good at the same time because I feel like if you go in with the mentality like I'm gonna work hard, I'm gonna get there, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get swole for real, I'm gonna get the summer body, waiting for that kickback. I think if you get that mindset, then you like pump for the 6:30 workout. Some guys come in dead, some guys not really like with it. I'm ready for it for most days. Workout happens, get that lift and get a little extra pumping at the end as we should. After it, get rehab some days. Sorry about that, Brian. Get rehab as you should. But rehab's like a whole nother workout. That's why, oh my God.
Rehab.
But yeah, got to get my mindset for rehab, which is real harder than the 6:30 a.m. because that 6:30, I ain't gonna, you cannot skip it. No way by it. Rehab is like, you could say you're feeling good that day, but if you say that and you're not, and you feel bad the next day, then man, that's rough. So you got to just go to the rehab and get treatment, and then next you're like, class, 9 a.m. class, man, what am I going to do? So, man, go to class, might accidentally fall asleep for a little 2 seconds, but then get back writing notes accidentally. You can't help me, though. You wake up at 5:45 a.m.
Nah, it'd be rough.
Right to work,
It'd be rough.
But yeah, get through class, get your notes, bang, get out, go get breakfast, lunch. I forgot breakfast, but yeah, breakfast, lunch, go to your next class, go to my next class, bang, notes, everything. Make sure teacher, sees face, knows who I am. I feel like there's a lot of things like a lot of athletes that don't do that. They just go to class, if that, and just like sit in the back and get by. Like, nah, you need to like make sure you know what you're talking about in the classroom and like put what you learn into your real life, and you'll actually like learn that stuff.
For real.
But then after that, eat a little bit more. Then we got meetings, couple hour and a half. Then off to practice, and it's been pretty cool recently. The weather's been nice, but when that fall camp comes.
All right, we ain't gonna talk about fall camp. I mean, fall camp is we ain't gonna do it right now. Let's get to the summer. But yeah, like I like what you said about the mindset, but a lot of just going what I see day to day, and it's a problem. Like a lot of us athletes aren't grateful for where we are, and it affects our mindset. Like you said, for that 6:30 a.m. lift that we go through, that most college athletes around the world do. Like we sleepwalk through our days, no plan, no purpose. Like that's the worst thing to do because you're not getting everything out of it. And when you come to 4 years from now, and you're like that older guy, and you're standing up in front of the team, it's like, yo, what do you regret? And every one of them will say what? They're like, yo, like, I took it for granted. Like, I should have did this, X, Y, Z. And I don't want to be that guy. So, I'm glad and grateful for Ryan Davis, our strength coach, and all of our strength coaches because they deal with a lot of that mindset stuff. And that's what strength coaches around the world do. They deal with that and the energy of you. And he brings it every day. Even if we don't have it. And it affects everybody. So if you think about that on that level, think about when you come in the lift, energetic. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm gonna match it. You lifting heavy, I'm gonna lift heavy.
Right.
But if you cool and I'm everybody else is gonna what? They gonna cool.
Chill.
and you bring down everybody else. Yeah. And I just feel like having a purpose and a plan every day. So it's like, yo, and like one speed. Like if I gotta lift, I'm a lift. So like I'd rather you pull the dogs off rather than telling me to go harder. Like
because like especially with that lift, like if you go heavy, I'm go heavy. Like some days I'm not feeling it, and you come in there bang bang, do whatever that clean, and I'm like man, because that joint heavy, but I'm like you doing it, so you best believe I'm gonna hit that too. So and it just keeps on going. But yeah, definitely shout out to that staff, that strength staff, because I feel like most people in the like nation like that are not like in this like industry for real. When you think about the strength staff, you think about just lifting weights. Yeah, no, yeah. They deal with mental,
a lot,
health, everything, man. They really like the guys you can talk to, talk about real stuff too, and they're really there for you, and they know you more than some coaches for real because they spend so much time with you for real. But
yeah, like just and just even in life. I don't want to just talk about sports because
right.
We live in that area all the time. It's like again, how are you going to go about your days? How are you going to go about your race and running your own race? I always have a plan. So if young guy coming to college, like you can easily just say you got time for things and not be goal oriented, not focused, but that time runs.
Yeah.
Like time goes, and selfishly, I figured that out early enough and seen it a lot, and I can tell younger people this, and it's like time ain't gonna stop for you.
Yeah.
Like if you have that mindset of I got time, I can do this X Y Z and live your life like that. Like people steady growing, people steady getting what they want, but don't complain when you don't get the results you didn't put in the work for.
Yeah.
And you'll see that in the sports world, and it's like with the transfer portal, with teammates complaining, and the coaches like,
man,
just speaking on, I know it's going a little left, but transfer portal. Let's touch that.
Being real.
Let's talk about the transfer portal. Let's talk about the transfer portal. Elephant in the room. My take on the transfer portal, it's good and bad, but it's more bad than anything because you pair that with NIL and it's beast. And you'll lose. You have to recruit you got to recruit your own roster every year,
right?
Because there's coaches are poaching and X Y Z. But I do feel like there's positives. Like okay, like there's sometimes you're just not better than somebody. Like a freshman come in and take my spot, and I'm like grind it out, and I'm still gonna play. If my goals and aspirations is to play somewhere else, you might have to go down a level. You might have to go lateral, move or your coaching changes. That's a big thing. Like
coaching changes is a big thing.
And we lost 4 coaches in 4 years.
4 different coaches.
And it's rough. It is, and most people just leave or follow their coaches. But that portal, man, like once you get in, Lord knows if you come back.
Not for real. A lot of people think they're gonna go somewhere, and those teams they thought or schools they thought they were about to go to aren't quite as interested in them, or for me, I think, like you said, there's good sides and bad sides to the transfer portal. I think, for me, probably like a good thing for me, like I like it is because, I'm like, hey, coach, can we get some more edge rushers and pass rushers? Get pressure on that quarterback when he throws that ball, so we can get more picks in the back end. You feel me? I mean, I feel like when you commit to a school, you commit to a school. You feel me? When I commit, I'm like 100% committed. I'm working. I thought I would have, played a little more, a little earlier. Didn't happen. Stay here, working through it, bang, working. Started last year, we both started. Just work through it, I feel like. You brought up coaching changes, that's a big thing. I feel like, because I agree, coaching changes happens, some people transfer, and I understand that totally. I've had, 4 different position coaches for my, entire time I've been in college, and at first, when you first think about it, and it's not something I would have expected coming to Maryland, of course, but when you first think about it, you're like, man, 4? But I'm for real, I look at it you gotta look at the positive things for real. There's plenty of things that I know now about the game of football and about life from these different coaches than I would not have learned from if I had one coach throughout the entire time. You feel me?
Yeah, and just going off that, you mentioned about when we weren't playing, obviously we earned the starting roles. Just dive into how that felt, because I know how it felt for me. Like it was rough. Like you go from high school, which a lot of kids, struggle with that high school to college transition in sports. Like you were the man at your school, XYZ, best player of this, got voted this, All American this, 3, 4, 5-star, whatever you were. You're the best where you were. And I feel like what hurts freshmen and what I had to get out of that mindset is you got to forget everything you did in high school. Just build off of it, use it, but don't try to recreate. That person, because it's not gonna work. Like there are 20 of me's around the country. Like you were this, you were that. Like I got to compete against dogs every day. Like and that was the hardest for me. Like I'm like, no, like I thought I was this in my head, and I go out there. COVID hit. I came back with y'all boys. I promise you, I was nervous. I was like, I ain't played football in a year and a half. I don't even know if I got it anymore. It's that first time lining up. I promise you. It was one of our base calls, cover 4. Couldn't remember the hand signal, couldn't remember nothing. I was so nervous. I was like, yeah, and you want to play. You want to play, and you can't even remember the stuff you just learned in the meeting room. Like, it was rough because the game's like, oh, you're going to get in. As a freshman, it's like, man, like you got that attached to you. And you didn't play till what, junior year?
Yeah, junior year, for real. Yeah, man. I mean, like, me coming in, I like how you said, for real, like, you got to forget about everything you did in high school. Because I feel like my freshman year, that's all I really, like, thought about. Like, I got to be, like, I saw myself in this image as what I did in high school, as, like, what I need to be here, for real. But, like, right now as a player, I'm totally different than when I was in high school. For real. But, that's, for real, I think the biggest thing. Because I'm, like, trying to put myself in this image, like, paint me as this. And I feel like I'm, like, trying to strive for that. But that shouldn't be, like, what I should be, like, trying to do, for real. And then what you got to do for real is, like, I'm not going to say, like, stay true to yourself, but, like, be you and work through what you, like, work through being your best, your absolute best, for
Run your
real.
race, man.
Things happen. You might not play. You might not start. You might not be, like, where you want to be in the depth chart or lineup, or, like, getting the minutes you feel like you should. But you just got to, like, be yourself, stay thorough. There's not a lot of thorough guys out there. You got to stay thorough and do your thing. And, stuff going to happen. I mean, like you said, being, like, freshman year, like you said, you forgot a base call, like, right away. Man, you learn those plays right before practice. You learn, like, 4 new plays right before practice. That's, like, the worst thing, for real.
Yeah, that's
like
hard.
they used to mess me up. I was like, and because you mess with practice and they get mad at you. I'm like, bro, I just learned this, like, 30 minutes ago.
Nah, they don't care.
Nah, but, like, now it's, like, it's straight. Like, now it's easy to. But, yeah, back then it was that. And then, like, nerves me on the field, boy. What? First start, Buffalo. My palms went.
I was like this. I promise you, I was like, yo. Couldn't sleep the night before. Man. Nervous. And it was like, you got to remember that whole summer and spring, we were getting questions about Nick Cross, Jordan Mosley, right. Them boys. Like,
shout out.
Like, they were like, oh, you lost them. Like, you got safeties in the room that ain't never done anything. Like, got to prove themselves. You felt like we had to prove ourselves. When I was talking to Coach Baker, he's like, man, forget that. Like, build off of what you did. Like, those guys were good, but nobody was ever perfect. Like, just take what they gave you and build off it and do more. And once we started doing that, me and you connected and just started going. But there was uncharted water, so that's why I was nervous for the game. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, man, like, replaying, I'm like, yo, like, I worked my butt off, but am I a gamer? Like, I don't know why I was questioning myself.
The game's different.
But it all handled itself. A lot of, college athletes, we all go through some rough spots in our careers, early careers, late careers. I have moments, you have moments. What was your low moment, if you don't mind sharing? This is open. Like,
Like, we being real, but we ain't being, like, too personal, but we being real. So, I can't think of, like, one specific low. I know that, like, probably, like, for, like, mentality-wise for football, one of my lows was, like, during sophomore year, during, like, the end of the season. I feel like I was like, man, like, I feel like I wasn't playing, and, I wasn't playing like I should, and, like, when I got a chance, I'll be in for a little bit, and then, I was like, but it'll be a lot of me, like, pointing, like, trying to point fingers at, different people or different, like, coaches, like, man, he don't like me, or like I ain't playing because of this or this. But man, I just like for real to get out of that. I just you gotta stop everything else for real and just think about yourself and what you can do to improve yourself and what you can do to improve like this moment for real. Because like once I stop thinking about the external factors and things I couldn't like change, then like that's when I started like connecting and started like doing my thing. And then like low for like in like college ish area, like I know freshman year boy when I came in as a like I came in early. I was an early enrollee with a couple other guys, but like 10 other guys, freshmen. And at the end of the spring, Locks was mad at all of us because he's like, "This is the worst academic class I've ever had." Man, our class it was bad, and I was one of those. Man, and I was like, it was rough because like I did good in high school. I feel like I was smart. I'm in the business school and stuff. Man, that junk hard. I was like, man, a whole bunch of pass failing for me. Yeah, a whole bunch of pass failing. No, not grades, but that was hard. And I was kind of like, I remember like, cause you were still in like high school, like you weren't here yet.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I just got to college. I was kind of like by myself and like, didn't really talk to much people, so many people. So what really got me out of that and like has got me mentally straight over the past 4 years have been like you and for like SB, like all them boys, like Dino, Rube, Devin, Mace, you know, all them boys. And I think without that crew, without y'all, I'd like I don't know, bro. I don't know how I got through
Bro,
this
I'm
thing.
telling you, and that's what people don't realize is like your brothers, like
Yes.
and that's why like men specifically, boys, you need to talk and have those people around you. You can't do it all yourself. Like you know, you need that, and if you're religious, God is a big point in your life. But being able to get out of those slumps what makes you and then what allows you not to go back to that level. Like for me, even before I got to college, like I dealt with it. Like lost all my confidence in my athletic ability. Like I was nervous for every situation when it came to competitive like performance anxiety. It was rough. But fast forward, and I'll just credit how I got through those slumps was two prominent athletes everybody knows, Kobe Bryant and Muhammad Ali. If you ever just watch or listen to the things they say, it is you can take it as cocky, you can take it as whatever you want.
Right.
But those were top tier athletes who had like crazy confidence, and it's like you listen to that, and you hearing Muhammad Ali saying he's the best in the world even before he thought he was, or Kobe his mama mentality, like the guy was nuts, crazy,
right.
like he was like he's like, well, I'm gonna pass you the ball. You ain't wake up at 5:30 and
Like he
work
did.
out with me. You're not on my level type thing.
Right.
But that guy like had a killer mindset and he took people out like every day. Like he just wanted to be the best. And those guys and their mindsets helped me get out of those mental holes. And just fast forward when I came in, like what you mentioned, like people around you. Like when I came in, like it was hard. Like
Yeah.
you go, like everybody's looking down at you as freshman. You go into the locker room and like you looking around, and people just like nod their head, like maybe
Right,
not even
right.
get that. Like they're like, "Yo, you a rookie. Like nobody know you gotta prove yourself." So it's like all eyes on you, and it's like pressure, and it's like it's kind of hard to navigate through that jungle. And thank God for you, because I remember this guy like helped me. He's like, he ain't the most talkative around the facility, but he was like, "Yo, like coach." He was like, "Coaches help me with plays." I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "All right, let's go." We went to the field. He picked out what was it, the barrels,
Yeah.
and was showing me
fast
like the run fits and all that. And I give him credit every time I can, because like you gotta think like freshmen come in, their whole purpose and the coach's whole purpose of bringing them in is to take your spot.
Right.
Like you didn't have to, put that seed in my life and move it forward and help me and what I do every time with the freshmen. I'm like, yo, like I didn't have nobody to help me but Beau, so I'm not gonna be selfish and make you learn it on your own when you're my teammate and I respect my coach and he's gonna be here with you. So it's things like that.
I mean, like going off that, like I feel like thinking about you, like, cause I ain't gonna lie. When you came in, I thought you was about to be like cocky or something. Top tier lacrosse player. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
That's crazy.
But I mean, I didn't, but nah, you came in though, and like your work ethic really made me like it surprised me because it wasn't like your work ethic on just on the field and stuff, but it was like how much you want to learn about the game and how you actually want to be like great at this game. And so I feel like a lot of guys, guys don't do that. Like a lot of, especially when coming in as a freshman, you want to like, you know, enjoy all the college stuff.
Nah, for real.
And do that. But like you was really like into football, into like learning like what to do, like the X's and O's and stuff. So I was like, all right, bet. And like it is the thing like you can like I'm teaching you to like take my spot, and I at a point like look your sophomore year, my junior year, no, year before that,
Freshman year.
Yeah, you're freshman.
It was the end.
Well, you was like at the point you started playing more than me, and I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit sick, but I was like that boy working. So guess what I did? I started working harder, and that's when we started like pushing each other even like harder and harder, and like man, that's great. That's how you become great for real. Just keep pushing each other. So yeah, I mean.
Yeah, everybody needs that person in their corner, and it's like we go to war for each other. It ain't nothing like, you always see us around. Like everybody know around where your boy at. Where your boy at? I'm like, oh, nah, he around. Like, but and that's just the connection you need on and off the field, and it's just my brother for life. So, and I'm grateful for when you help me come in, and always pay it forward, and always call away, but.
Of course.
Switching to that merch you got on right there.
Oh yeah, Uptown. Shout out Uptown.
Shout out Uptown.
You're right.
My boy, clothing line.
Yeah. Shout out Dino.
Yeah, Dino Tomlin. Yeah. What's your swag, man? What's your swag? What you like to rock out?
I don't be putting on. I usually just wear like cargos, jeans with the down low. Nah, and I gotta wear it fitted. Eight put me on that Ruben Hip. Shout out Ruben Hip Life for real.
Shout out.
And I just would be wearing Forces or something.
Man, if you can show the camera
Black Forces.
This man is crazy.
That's why when you step out, people like don't mess with. I'm like yeah, feel me, yeah. So be chilling. Just grab a tee, and that's about it.
When I see Beau out, he gonna have some crazy fit. Depends on the weather. Like he gonna have a backwards hat, the braids done out, and he gonna have the Forces. Sometimes if you see the fanny pack, run.
Tight with summer.
Run.
That fanny pack better come back out.
He a menace. But he has his own little swag. I play it cool. I play
You be chilling.
I play it cool.
It depends where we go though, cause like if we in New York or someplace, then you.
Nah, you gotta step out though.
You got to. Yeah,
I can't let y'all do me like that, cause we with Rube or Dino, Mick, Toon, like.
Right.
Even Stein, like,
yeah.
Stein be putting it on. He gonna have Prada glasses on, Prada jeans. He gonna have the shirt tucked in with the belt showing.
Shirt tucked, yeah.
I'm like, Mace, come on, bro. Like, I know you got money, but you ain't got to do us like that. But,
for real,
yeah. That's funny. Talking about music today. Who are like? Let's get into this. Who's the greatest of all time? So let's go rapper first. Rapper. There's
probably just go. I gotta go Tupac probably. I mean, I haven't listened to most. I haven't listened to a lot of Tupac for real. But I mean, there's certain things you just can't deny. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna say Tupac. I'm gonna leave it at that for real.
Straight rider. You don't wanna. Yeah. Tupac's cold. I'll go. Can we say Jay-Z? Like, you say Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Drake, like...
Ooh, I go Lil Wayne. Yeah, yeah.
Lil Wayne is, like, lyrical.
Yeah,
we're gonna get hate for this, though.
I'm going Lil Wayne. I just feel like I had to go Tupac, for the people. No, I'm going Lil Wayne.
But, like, can you say Tupac without saying Biggie? Like,
it feels like they're always, like, right there with each other for real. But I know a lot more, like, Tupac fans. I don't know.
This answer goes off of like your parents to me, like
and
whatever your mom or your dad was bumping in 2006, 2010, yo, you like
for real.
Whatever, like you gonna know those artists. Like
I don't know what I was thinking. Why that's still Lil Wayne? Definitely Lil Wayne.
I remember underrated artist, but my dad back in he had a Ford Explorer back minutes ago. Ford Explorer with his rims on. We used to have the speakers in the back. bumping T.I. Like,
You do be listening to
do be
T.I.
bumping T.I. because from my dad. Like,
I'm like, what? But yeah, that makes sense.
I won't stop. Hey, hustle won't, like.
Yeah.
When T.I. come on, I just get lit. It's because of my dad. Like, T.I.'s an underrated artist. A lot of people don't like give credit to. I like T.I.
Who you listen to right now?
Right now, Lil Baby, Ride Wave. Rappers wise, yeah, Lil Baby, Ride Wave. Like when Lowdown come on, cause that TikTok that came out about when the basketball team. What team was it? Yeah. What team was it? Nah.
I'm not forgetting the team. What team it was?
I don't remember the team. But anyways,
Kansas State.
Yeah, they was bumping, and that's a little pregame joint. That joint was lit.
That was lit. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was like, that's whack. When they started getting dubs, I was like, all right, that's lit. That's lit. The coach was in that too. Yeah, that was cool.
That joint was hard. So let's go on like, you can say artist now. So like, who's the greatest artist?
I'm saying MJ.
MJ. You say NJ. You can say Prince.
I'm going MJ.
I might have to go MJ. MJ was crazy.
How about, because you were going genres earlier. You mess with any country?
You know, being from Delaware.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Morgan Wallen's cool. Okay. He's a little mainstream. Luke Combs. When the country come out,
cool.
Look, you find this out when country come out. Our personalities will come out a little bit. It'd be funny. They'd be laughing at us. They'd be going on us.
Yeah,
but
Luke Combs.
Country's cool. You know, country got its thing. But
I'll be listening to straight Future for real. It's in my
toxic.
Yeah,
it's toxic.
Nah. Girl cool with it.
Nah, Future gets you in trouble. He gets you canceled.
Yeah, don't cancel me.
Nah, Future cold.
Episode. Please not. I hope not.
Future cold, but
shout out Tune. Yeah. I'm listening to Tune too.
Shout out my guy Tune.
Mace Tomlin.
Yes, upcoming artist. You'll see him. We'll add him up. Yeah, Tune coming out. He gave us our beat for our intro and everything like that. Yeah. You know,
hard. That shit was hard.
Yeah.
Nah, but
let's close it.
First thing pre-game. What you listen to? From waking up to game time.
Future goes crazy.
See?
Bro, I'm telling you, but my go-to game songs are like I time it up and right before I go out in the field or like when we go off the bus ready to get off to go to the walk where our parents are, I go Ambition by Wale.
Okay.
It gets me into that mode. Like it's a low style song, low beat, and it just hits hard in the words. You listen to it. But sometimes when I need it, State game, Michigan game, too comfortable when it comes on, I'll be bumping. Like Dreams of Night, everybody say Dreams of Nightmares by default, like but mine, I say too comfortable and Ambition. What about you?
On the bus ride to the stadium, I'm just bumping MJ for real. Being cool, calm, collected, Then once you get off that bus, start walking into the stadium, I put on some rock. Some just, I don't know. I ain't listening to rock till like this past season. Like, I ain't started that ritual till this season. But when we walking in, I listen to some rock or it's like some WWE walkout, like some big show. You feel me? And then when we out there working out and stuff, then I put on like Future,
Hold up, we
EST.
We not gonna just pass over you saying rock. We're not passing over you saying rock.
Like craziness is going on. And I'm ready.
And then that's why you and that's why you be knocking yourself out, knocking people out. Almost knocked me out, hit me.
My fault.
Tackled a guy in his.
My fault.
Nah, because if I hear you got rock on anymore, I'm making you turn it off because we're not on that. Nah. Yeah. But that's cool. Wrapping it up, just want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Yeah.
One Speed Podcast. Shout out my boy Dino for the clothing line.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Shout out my boy Toon, up and cutting artist. And see you guys next time.